Hello? Hello? Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Well, that was a cheesy YouTube intro, wasn't it? I'm full of them. I'm full of cheese. I'm full of shit. But there you go. Welcome back, everyone. It's episode 2. Woo! Let's start the episode by running through what I'm going to do. In this episode, we are going to, wait for it, drum roll, get this neck fretted, inlaid. Lots of speedy uppies today because it's a lot of repeat business going on, isn't it? Get it shaped, get it carved, get it looking lovely. I want this thing pucker and pretty much done. That's the aim for this video. I also want to get it routed into the body, hence the fact it's what I'm doing now. And we need to figure out an angled pocket. Angled pocket, we've not done that yet. So that's what I'm going to figure out and put in this video. I fucking made a promise now, haven't I? So let's get stuck in. Where do I start? How do I make this interesting? I have lined my neck up. I've got to make considerations so that my stripes line up. That's how that works. I've clamped it in place using the nubbin.
No, don't like that.
On the end. Brilliant. I know it's not as exciting as Carol Vorderman's scissoring Rachel Riley, but I'm going to just try and ease you in, thumb you in to the action today. I've also taken the decision, a very new one for me, to glue on my centre ruler, because that is a fucking legendary move. I actually saw someone else do it in a video. I can't remember who. I would have given them all the credit. This brain doesn't always think of everything you see. Sometimes I'm bullshitting for the sake of it. Now, I've lined it up and I've double checked. I've got to make sure I don't take my nose out on that one. I'm 31 mil, and my stripes are lining up lovely. If my aircon kicks in today and you can hear it farting away in the background,
like a fart in the wind.
Tough shit. It's summertime in the UK, which means it's still not hot compared to where some of you live. But it's hot for me, for this little albino. I'm genetically predispositioned for the snow. Although, to be honest, I fucking moan about that as well. So I've got me strips for centering out my neck pocket. You've seen these before. This is not rocket science, even though we could draw Bezos's cock rocket on there. That might be interesting. These are going to get glued on as a router guides. Nothing complicated about that. Now, the only thing I have done with these that you need to know of is I've run these across the jointer. These edges are dead flat, because if they're not dead flat, you're going to router things that aren't dead flat. So these are going to get glued on. Now I've got my neck clamped. I did this off camera because it's just a wanky little job where you're just nudging, moving things. We're going to get these glued on, and then I'm going to get my neck pocket drilled out and routed out. Not full depth. I'm going to leave myself a good 12 mil of the bottom of the body, because we're then going to come back and alter that to get an angled pocket. That is the universal symbol for angular pocket. Just in case anyone's watching hard of hearing, because it's quite difficult to rely on the YouTube subtitles. I've read what they do to Jana accents in the subtitles. It's not good. And sometimes they try translating my videos into foreign languages. How the fuck they manage that, I don't know. What do I sound like in Japanese? I can only imagine the horrors. Yeah, we're going to get that glued on. You've seen how that's done before. We burnish our tape. There you go. Remember, burnishing tape. We do some burnishing. It's a good word. I like it. I don't know what this is. Very good. So let's get that stuck on. Speedy uppy, number 1. Right, now that's on there and it's all secure. Child. But that's why you're here, really, isn't it? That is why you're here. I sound a little bit glum this morning. I shouldn't sound glum. I'm in a blinding mood. I've got a full week and I had a massive job going on in the background that wasn't related to Milo Studios. A final chapter of a previous life. It was hanging over me like a dark cloud. Anyway, so yeah, I am in a good mood and I'll try and purvey that in the video. Let's go and drill this out and get it routed. All right, it's exciting, isn't it? It is exciting. I fucking love doing this. Right, back on the mean streets. Here we are. I'm routed out. I've got my little sneaky pocket in. The thing I want to check now, I've also rounded off the tenon of my neck because I need it to fit in the rounded pocket bit. Just finalising the Christmas charity build. Oh, and it is a whopper. I'm not going to tell you all about it. I'll tell you about it nearer the time, but it's very, very exciting. Got some interesting stuff coming up. And I found my missing transmitter, X5. Highly recommended. Sent me them. Lovely they are. For professionals. I'm not a professional. So my neck pocket's in. It's fairly tight. Right, that's about as tight as you want it to be. The more you take this in and out, it's going to loosen up a little bit. But that's fine because we're going to glue this neck in. To be fair, you could screw the neck in with that big tenon. If you don't want to glue it in, it's not the end of the world. Either would work. So I'm checking a few things. Have I got upper fret access? Not the best. Not the best. But I'm going to scallop this. We're going to shape this in. That's the whole plan for that. I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a shape to get round there. I think I want to do some sort of small comfort carve just to bring through the different wood choices. Maybe take it past the midpoint there so that a bit of the stripe from the underside comes through. Don't know. That's an aesthetic. I'll make that a bit up as I go along. For now, I've got my neck in. We haven't got to worry about the angled pocket. We'll do that later. End of the video. I'm just checking that my stripes line up because I keep doing this, which is an absolute ball ache, but it does look nice when it's done. And then I'm also checking that I am nicely centered, and I've got 31.5 and 31.3. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Now we've got to consider, while this thing is still square and I can lay it on its side and it's still square, I can run that through the table saw. Worrying, isn't it? I've probably gone a little bit too deep on my tenon there, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we've got plenty to glue in, it's not going to matter a fuck. Right, next bit, as we're moving along, I need to get this radius. Before I do anything else to the body, I know it's tempting. That's the fun bit. It's the easy bit. Don't really have to think about the body much, do we? I've got to leave this to the side. I want to get this pretty much done, I think. Yeah. I'm going to get it radius. I'm going to get my inlays on. I'm doing the ring inlays. You've seen all that before. I'm not going to film that bit. I might do a speedy uppy. I might not. But because we saw that on the last build. So I'm going to radius it very quickly. Going to put some inlays in. That's what I'm doing for the next couple of hours anyway. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to look at the depth of this body. Once I've got that done, we'll set him in and I can figure out my bridge position. Once I've figured out the bridge position, we can sit the bridge in the body and then we can start thinking about angles and depths. That's the order of play. That's the order I'm doing it. It might not be the order that you do it in, but fuck it. That's what we're going to do. I'll see you back on the bench in a little tick with a complete top of a fretboard. Easy just watching from the sofa, innit? Right, this is a bit of a weird second episode because the eagle eye among you will know I've done a shitload more than you've seen in the video series. And that is because of these. I've upgraded my microphones, I filmed a shit ton and the sound is awful. It's like someone sticking knives in your ears, so I can't use it. So we're moving on a little bit quicker in the second episode than I really wanted, which is a bit of a pain in the fiddle. Pain in the fiddle? Am I growing up? It's a pain in the twat. That's what I meant to say. I'll show you what I've done. I spent ages doing neck carving, so there will follow on a speedy uppy of neck carving. I'll try and make it as best I can. Video editing suites don't sort out audio that well. It sounds like I'm fucking talking out of Crichton's ass. If you don't know who Crichton is, Google Red Dwarf if any of you are too young. Or if any of you are too old. You might be too old. You might be from before they went to the moon. So we're sunk in. I made a jig for that. Do you want to see the jig? I'll show you the jig. Of course I'll show you the jig. The jig's a bit shit. So I actually made this jig. Now it looks quite impressive. I know, it's not impressive. So basically the guitar sits in there. I've got some predisposition marks. This is my router guide is already cut in the pocket, so these don't need to be accurate. And then what you can do is you can use any manner of spacers to create the angle that you want for your head pocket. For your head pocket, for your neck pocket, not your head. That's further on. You don't need that. I'm a little bit out of sorts, sorry. So you can do that. I put rails on the underside of it so that you can get clamps on. That was clever, I know, thank you for that. So I'm chuffed to bits with that. It worked. I've got my neck pocket routed out. It's a little bit clunky. So it's not very calculatable. So I need to figure that out. What I basically arrived at, the facts I need, is I need to standardize things. I need to standardize my body thicknesses. So all of my guitars are the same thickness. And I need to standardize my neck. So I had to chop down the bottom of my neck to make sure, because obviously it was too thick. A 40mm neck blank is too thick to go in a body. You have to take a little bit off the heel. So I need to standardize that. So in the next series, because I haven't cut the neck on that, we're going to spend a little bit more time, although that body's a lot thicker. So the series after that one, we're going to spend a little bit more time, and I'm going to standardize my measurements, and I'm going to write them down, and we're going to put them on the wall. So every time I do a build, that's going to be my reference points of what we go for. I think that's a pretty good idea, because repeatability has got to be the name of the game now. If I make these the same every time, then my neck pocket's going to be the same every time. I'll let you into a little clue. I'm waffling. I'm trying to get this done quick. My template sets, I make life easy for myself. This is a RevStar template set, which is, by the time you see this, these should be available in the eBay store. You can buy full RevStar template sets. This is the neck drawn by the wonderful Mr. James Yard. Beautiful young man. Now what I've done is I've transferred a load of that off, and I've moved the neck shape profile, and I've done it for my Gibson stuff. Even though they're like different headstocks and inlays, the neck blank is the same. It's way simpler than doing a Gibson fucking double notch one-a-bunner tenon. You don't need to do that. That's a much easier way of doing it, and it works on pretty much every guitar. So that's your choice whether you do it that way. I do it that way because it just standardizes the way I do things, and ultimately makes no difference to the look, feel, touch, tone. We better not say tone, because there will be outrage. So you can see there that you can adjust the angle of that by changing the size of your doofers. Yeah. So I'm going to work on that. It kind of works. It's a little bit clunky. If I standardize things, then I know I'll have a particular spacer that goes in there, and it's the same every fucking time to work with an ABR1 bridge. So we'll figure that out next time. I'm sparing you, not showing you the figuring out process for that, because my God, it was painful. Not as painful as me in the sack. Whew. So anyway, here's a montage of some neck cutting, profiling, carving. You can't really call it carving. There's a lovely outro to this video this week, gents. Make sure you stick around for that. I'll see you when that one's finished. Ciao for now. Right, hopefully that montage wasn't too bad, and we managed to save it. I've no idea yet, I haven't edited it. I'm a little bit behind, ain't I? I'm editing fluff pieces. Never thought I'd be saying that a couple of years ago, but there you go. I edit fluff pieces for a living, actually. Now, I've sunk my bridge in. The reason I've sunk my bridge in, I always do that, is so I want to slam that bridge as far down into the body as I can if I want to, and it means I get to put less break angle on the neck. Because I don't use pickup rings, because I don't like the look of them, I don't want my bridge humbucker to be sticking out of the body miles and miles like it would be in a big deep pickup ring. So I slam my bridge down, we have less neck angle, and we can keep that humbucker a little bit more in the body. It's a happy medium. Doesn't really make much difference, but I cut my teeth playing Fender guitars. So that's just how my brain goes. Don't think it makes much difference. Feel free to comment away. Now, the thing I've got you involved in now is the positioning of the pickups. Neck humbucker is going to go up tight to the fretboard. So here is a kit guitar that I bought almost a year ago, and I've still not done because it's boring and it involves loads of painting, and that's why I haven't done it. Shh. So this is where the bridge goes. Obviously it's laid out for Gibson stuff. That's where the bridge goes. I can measure the distance between those two humbuckers, which is 62 mil. That's the edge of my humbucker right there. So if I mark 62 mil and my humbucker is 42 mil there, that's going to take us pretty much the same as a Gibson. So we're going to lay our humbuckers out the same way that the big man did, and we should all be fine. This is going to be a Union Jack guitar in the end, by the way. This is guitar kit fabric. It's a kit. I've got all the paint. It's nitro and it takes ages, and I hate paint, so that's why it's on the wall, if you're ever wondering. So now I've done that, we've got basically the simple stuff to do. We're going to router out the humbuckers. I say we, the royal we, it's fucking me, innit? We're going to router out the humbuckers, and I'm going to figure out my controls and my jack plate, output jack, input jack, jack plate, whatever you want to call it. Jack of all trades, master of fuck all. We're going to do that. We're going to get everything done, wiring, routes done, all that sorted, and then all I've got to do is sit here and sand, which I'll do off camera, and then in the next video we'll glue the neck in. In the next video I want to do some interesting carves. We're going to bring this thing to life and make it a little, because it's a little bit flat, isn't it? Well, let me know what you think. I mean, that's a little bit flat. I think I've started sketching it out. A curved comfort carve across there, across the back, just to give it a bit of a shape, and like a PRS-y sort of scallop. Thank you, Mr. Reed Smith. I'm nicking your idea, all right, because I like that. It just looks cool. Haven't made my mind up there. You let me know in your comments, because you might, I'm so far behind on this, I might read them in time before I do it. You never know. Right, so let's get everything out and sort of jig out. The other thing I was going to do on this, I was going to ferrule through the body. I think it's a little bit modern and weird, so I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to put a tailpiece in, and I've bought it actually. So I'm going to put the matching tailpiece in that goes with the roller that I like the look of. I think it's sexy, the roller in it. One thing I have done on my template set, because I've got a laser cutter, and that's fucking class, I've measured these cutouts and I've made them pretty snug and pretty perfect and uniform for the humbuckers I'm using. If I ever do a guitar that's got bare humbuckers, I can choose to make that a little bit smaller and snug. The only thing is, if someone ever wants to change the humbuckers out, then obviously they're going to have a pain in the ass because they're not going to fit. So I've made these cutouts snug for covers. And if you ever want to put a smaller humbucker in there without a cover, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that's that. Just so you know, this is the neck for the next build. That's all you're getting. It's very interesting. It's a weird guitar. I've never done that shape. I'm going to show you everything. Next build series is going to have all the detail for this. Everything about fretting, what I'm doing, how it's done. I'm going to include it all. All right? I'm going to include it all so you can see it all. And then that's your reference, isn't it? Oh, maple inlays into blackwood. Fucking yes. So because I've messed around with the dimensions and everything, and I've not done everything exactly the same as this template set, I've made life a little bit hard for myself. I'm just going to measure back to my tailpiece, and I've got 40 mil. So my tailpiece, I'm just going to set back 40 mil from mine. Keep life simple. And what I'm going to do, now I've got those lined up nicely, I'm just going to check my centers from these studs. And what I'm going to do before that is put my glasses on, because I can't see it. I'm going to start the over 12 mil, just a little bit. If you ever work with olive wood, it is absolutely, every time you cut it, it's glorious. Glorious. Have a little check. How deep are your studs? Let's go a little bit deeper. Bit of tape. Now this obviously isn't a Forstner bit. So the reason I started with 12 there is just so I didn't get any massive tear out. You can actually go a little bit wider than the collet at the top and do the same as what I've done here. Sink these into the body. No real need. Right, I'm just going to get my template stuck on now. And we'll do a speedy up here, some routing, because that's enough talking today. You want to see some cutting. You want to see some rotational tools doing their thing. And I will fucking oblige. See you back here when we're all routed and ready for a wonderful outro. You're going to love it this week. Kleenex at the ready. just for an unusual outro this week, because I get a multitude of messages, some wonderful, some like this twat, who's obviously struggling to finish him off in his mum's basement with a gas mask on. Let's be honest, it's probably a bit weird. But occasionally I'll get messages from people like Andrew, who are actually sat around watching my videos, having a chuckle, making the best of life while having fucking chemo, all right? So if I can impart the tiniest little chuckle to those geezers, it just offsets everything. I'm going to leave you with a video that Andrew sent me. Try not to have a tear in your eye. These guys are fucking warriors. Special wave to all of you. See you later on.
Little things I should have told you. All those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you. I'm so happy that you're mine. Little things I should have said and done. I just never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.